What is up? It's Friday.
Happy Friday. Put your ones up to the sky.
Put your ones up for Correa. Back with Houston.
Let's
Let's
go.
talk about it. It's Friday. We're back. A little bit more of an exciting Friday show than we've had so far this year. Des is still in Chicago. So I'm Josh. I'm joined by Kush. Welcome, everybody. Welcome anybody that's new, that's tuning in on a Friday for the first time. We had a huge show yesterday, all day from 11 to, I think we went from 11 basically to 6. And we reacted live to everything that happened. Turtles at first. Let's fucking go, boys. Way excited. Hell yeah. Everybody, Ryan, Adam, King, everybody putting their ones up. Acknowledge him.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge our tribal chief.
Your Astros tribal chief. Oh, Justin would get a kick out of me doing that. Carlos is back. Houston winning it all again. Hell yeah, King. Yeah. Let me pull. What are your thoughts on the deadline? Let's hear your grade and your overall thoughts on it.
I mean, before the Carlos Correa thing happened, I think we had been talking about Dylan Cease for a while, and like that's the guy that we wanted. But I guess Des predicted this weeks ago,
He did?
and whenever I saw him predict it, I was like, that wasn't even on my mind, But then started thinking about it, and the Correa news dropped yesterday, and it was just, it's gonna be an injection of excitement for the clubhouse, but even more so for the fan base.
Yep.
Which I mean, I think that's as big a deal as anything, because we got the Red Sox coming up at home. I think next week it is, right? Next week.
Yeah, the next homestand.
Yeah, next homestand.
The 11th,
so
I think.
It's that place is gonna be fucking rocking.
Yep.
And man, I can't wait to see Correa back out there for the Astros.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is outside of Verlander. I mean, Greinke. I mean, the Astros have had a few very exciting deadlines. For me personally, this would be up there. Not only do you got the fan favorite guy back, a leader in your clubhouse, that kind of guy, but you also made two very good moves. I think people should be talking about more. Jesus Sanchez and Ramon Arias, I think, are two very smart, very good moves, especially for what they traded for him. I think the if you told me going to the deadline, the Astros would fill the holes they need, and the biggest player they would give up is Ryan Gusto, I think I would be like, yeah, I'll take that 100,000%. Not anything against Ryan Gusto, but like he is, when you're a fully healthy rotation, he's probably not even your fifth starter. It's like maybe your seventh starter.
Yeah, as far as like value, like forget about the Correa stuff. Like as far as value for the other two guys, I mean, for all the people that were criticizing Dana Brown, I think you gotta you gotta turn it around and be like, man, what a job! Round of applause for Dana Brown for this.
Everybody, let's give Dana his flowers. I mean, at this point, the GM job is his for a while, in my opinion. We said it kind of coming up to this, that this is probably the deadline that's like the tipping point for him, because so far he's done a good job. Usually very minimal moves. Seemed like he had a good draft, but you can't really judge that for a bit. He's done a good job with free agent pickups. Like overall, he's done a pretty good job, but was he able to navigate a huge deadline with a team with a bunch of injuries that desperately needed bats and needed specific positions filled, and he went out and executed? I mean, you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, especially given like the whole injury situation. I think he did I mean, obviously we all probably would have wanted a big name guy like Cease.
Yeah.
But as far as like utility guys, and like speaking of utility guys and guys that have come up from Sugarland, they just all year they've just contributed. And I wouldn't be shocked if Urias just goes off for a couple weeks too.
I mean, I think I said it goes understated. I'm pulling up everybody's stats right now, so we'll do a little breakdown on all that. But let's answer some questions. If you see anything you want to answer, just let me know. Let's get to the chat. Dez's cousin Daz in the house. All right. Deadline is solid A. Long time no see, guys. Are we in a simulation? Is this real? Um, you are as beautiful to me as the day I lost you, Miri Correa. That's good. Haley's so pumped ever since the news dropped. Thoughts on Joan Duran to the Phillies? I think that's a huge. I think the Phillies had one of the better deadlines. They really needed a right-handed outfielder. They got Harrison Bader. They really needed another reliever since Alvarado can't pitch in the postseason for them, and they went and got him. Bregman first came back to Houston. Also, Correa's first game back to Houston. Yeah, that's kind of wild.
And the funny thing about all this is, all the Correa stuff probably wouldn't have happened if Paredes didn't get hurt.
No, I don't think it. I don't think it would have happened. So it's like almost a blessing in disguise because of how cheap they got Correa. Because I don't know if they would even. I mean, they wouldn't have gone and asked. Like, you don't go ask the Twins about Correa if Praise is healthy.
I think it was half necessity, half like that's our guy that that we want.
Yeah, I mean the main thing is now. I mean, obviously this year we're excited. Great year. Like, you're in first place. You have a very good chance to compete and go out there and try to win a World Series. Next year, I mean this organization is in a great spot. You want me to let me read out. I think let me go to the Astros roster for 2026. All these guys are under control for 2026. The offense: Jordan, Paredes, Altuve, Pena, Correa, Walker, Smith, Myers, Diaz, Sanchez, Arise, Dubon, McCormick, Melton, Matthews, DeZenzo, Trammell.
Yeah, I mean they're set.
That's like, I don't know. I didn't fully keep count, but that's like 17 Major League Baseball capable hitters. Pitching: Brown, Arrighetti, Javier, Garcia, Gordon, France, Walter, Bukohlers, Wisniewski, Blanco. And then Hader, Abreu, King, Okert, Sousa, and Dubin. So clearly there's a few things on the pitching side that you need to address. But they also have Abreu, Montero, and Presley coming off the books. They traded Montero, but I think they still owe like $5 million. Presley something similar, like $5 to $8 million. Abreu 15, something like that. I mean, that's like 20 mil plus that's coming off the books. That gives you a chance to sign a Dylan Cease or some starting pitcher that you might want to go get. I'm very excited for next year. I'm very bullish on that. I think they probably trade or try to trade Walker would be my guess.
Maybe Paredes in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would trade Paredes because they have him on such a I mean, I guess you could and get a haul for him because he's very good and he's still on a very cheap contract. But yeah, let's get to some more comments. I was cheesing all yesterday because of the news. Yeah. Credit for the trades not made. Yep. Hall's like the Padres wanted is a good example of a trade not to make. Exactly, Albert. That's fully. I think Cease would be awesome, but he's still like as great as the Astros pitching lab is. I don't think that's a guarantee. You can't just guarantee that they're always going to fix somebody. And so imagine if you traded, I think it was Arrighetti, Melton or Yannick or something, and like 2 or 3 other prospects for Cease, and then he goes out there and is just as bad and just pitches
and he would have been a rental, so it's just
exactly, just for a rental. Like that would have been bad. Jesus Sanchez has some serious pop. Agreed. We're gonna get into their stats in a bit.
And I'm gonna be honest, like I kind of got caught up in the Cease hype.
Yeah, when we did too on stream. Yeah,
but then when I saw what they were asking for him, and I was like, it's probably good that they didn't go.
No, I'm happy they didn't. But yeah, I would have. Don't get me wrong. I would have been hyped to have him. But yeah, I am glad that they didn't, bend in that moment and overpay.
Guillermo says, "Did y'all see Cease told the Padres he didn't want to go to Houston because he didn't want to deal with negativity. He's a softie." Well,
It was. I didn't see that it was specifically because he didn't want to deal with negativity. That's interesting. Considering the Astros have one of the most like uplifting clubhouses and fan bases, like I get not wanting to go to New York because they're difficult, but like Jesus. Let's see, 20. I'm working on the stats laid out for the guys who picked up. So if you want to scroll and talk with more, read more comments and stuff. Let's see.
do we take a flyer on Presley? You know, I kind of when I saw that he was DFA yesterday, my mind kind of went there a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, I think they should. I think think you get Ryan Presley on basically a nothing contract.
Yeah, and I mean,
You
I
pay
don't think
league
it's
minimum.
I don't think it's a terrible thing that he's another body on the staff.
Yeah, I mean, you get
So
you,
you can't have enough.
they
of
were
those.
looking for a right-handed reliever at the deadline, and you might be able to get
As long as for
him for free.
cheap, then
Well,
why
it
not
would
take
be
a
league
flyer on him?
minimum,
Yeah, take a flyer.
so
on
that's
him.
nothing.
Why not keep Walker and have a stacked lineup for next year? What do we think about that?
I wouldn't hate it. It's just like where do they play? They clearly they let it leak that they don't like Paredes at second. Somebody in the front office let that leak. So I don't know. I mean, is it a situation where like Paredes plays left field?
Yeah,
Like
we'll have to see.
I don't know, or you just have like a rotating DH situation. I mean, I am all for have a deep bench and just put out the best hitters possible. I mean, you don't want to compromise infield defense. That's the tricky part. But put out the best team possible. You don't. I wouldn't want to trade a player just because of a positional issue, especially with you see this year with injuries. Like, imagine you trade Paredes and then immediately Correa or somebody gets hurt, and then you're like, oh, it would be great if we had Paredes right now. So it's like, yeah.
Guillermo, I guess, clarified and said not negativity from the team, the negativity of where'd it go? The negativity of getting booed by other teams because of what happened in 2017.
Oh, that's soft. That's extremely soft. That's crazy. Why would you say that?
And I think he was one of the guys that was like talking mess in 2021.
I don't want to like say that and it'd be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard too.
Do we think Correa will play second next year?
I don't think so. I mean, that's certainly some sort of possibility that him or Pena could play second. That's certainly something. I wouldn't hate the possibility. It just feels like a waste. But yeah,
I think they're gonna stick him at third, and maybe. Well, now that Bryce Matthews wasn't traded, I think maybe they're gonna try to groom him to be the future second baseman.
No, yeah, I think they're talking about like if with Paredes, next year, like how do you fill that infield out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have a lot of options now.
Yeah,
just because they have guys that can play multiple positions.
Yeah, agreed. I wanted to look at.
David says he's too tall for second.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. I mean, I don't fully agree with height being an issue because on a baseball field, second and short aren't that much different. The only thing is you need to have a better arm to play short. So you're kind of wasting his arm at second. But as far as range, I mean, if you have the range to play shortstop, you have the range to play second base. That's not that big of a deal
on
for me.
Instagram, Daniel says Presley would basically take Ort's spot, so why not take a chance at the minimum? Yeah, I
exactly.
agree,
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think the Astros lab can bring Presley back to what he was before? Maybe not, but probably some version of that.
Yeah,
I think he could be better than what Neris is for you right now.
well,
And
like you said, you're going to be paying him vet minimum, so it's like even like whatever positive you get from him is just extra.
Yeah, exactly. And they were looking. They wanted a righty reliever. They didn't get him at the deadline, and then immediately Presley falls in their lap. It just feels like a no-brainer to me that they're going to do that. At worst, he struggles in an August, and you're like, okay, sorry, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But like, it's worth taking a chance.
That's low risk, high reward.
Yeah, I mean, at best, you kind of get him back to where he can be effective, and then you have Ryan Presley in the playoffs in like the 6th or 7th inning. That's and obviously he needs to perform, but
Andy Brown on YouTube says, "I love Paredes, but if we can trade him for a top end starter, we should do it."
yeah, that's my thing. I don't hate the idea of trading Paredes in the offseason. It just, if the value's there and you get somebody, like imagine if you then go get like an Edward Cabrera in the offseason or something, somebody that's like really solid, it's worth it. It's worth trying. That's the thing I like about Dana and this trade deadline. It seemed like he was willing to, he was trying. Like, I feel like there's a difference. You hear in the past Astros deadlines, you hear after the fact, oh, well, the Astros were one of the interested teams in that player. The Astros were interested in like 700 different players. But it feels like from a disingenuous like standpoint, not like they're actually pursuing that player. That's just that they're just not linked to him.
Yeah, I think this time around, like
It felt like Dana was turning over
the
every
stuff
stone.
that came out about how they like really like actually made a hard push for C's.
Yeah,
I think that's something I give Dana credit for that.
yeah. I was just trying to look at some stats, pull up some information on Ramon Arias. I think the big thing with Ramon is positional flexibility. He can play anywhere in the infield. So days where Correa needs a day off, Pena needs a day off, whoever's playing second, I mean, maybe it's him playing second. You give them a day off. You platoon him with Dubon. Like, it just has so much, gives your team such a deeper bench with that player. And the fact that you got him for an unranked single A pitcher, like, they traded 2 single A pitchers for Carlos Correa and Ramon Arias, 2 positive WAR players.
Yeah, when they made a deal for Ramon, I think it was that evening or that night.
Yeah, it was like 10:00 at night or something like that.
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, does this mean we're out on Correa?" And then when we got Correa, I was like, "Man, what?" Like,
see, I never
got Correa and he got a depth piece.
Yeah, see, I never thought it meant they were out on Correa just because you needed to fill second base and third base. So the fact that Ramon played both just meant, okay, that just gives you a fallback plan for one or the other. Whether you don't get a Brendan Donovan or you don't get a Correa, you had that fallback piece, which is great. And then going to get Jesus Sanchez, who is amazing against right-handed pitching. He struggles against left-handed pitching. So he's not going to – I don't think he's going to be an everyday starter unless they figure out something else. But basically, he platoons with probably Chas McCormick if you want to. You platoon Chas, who is still, even struggling right now with how much he's been struggling, he still has a 300 batting average against lefties. Like, he's always been that good against lefties. And then you have Jesus, who is elite against righties. He has an 812 OPS against right-handed pitching. So he's like almost an all-star against right-handed pitching. So you platoon those 2 guys together, they become basically, you have an all-star outfielder.
Yeah.
So I really, really love that move. I think that one's underrated. I think Des agreed with me on the stream. Jesus Sanchez is a dude. He's only, let me pull it up. He is only 27 years old, 2 more years of control. Like I said, with how good he is against righties, I mean, that piece being on your team, along with, Jordan and hopefully Melton picks it up. You have 3 very solid lefties that you can sprinkle in there now when you face a tough right-handed starter. Let's see. Let's scroll through some of these. I don't know if he takes Ort spot, but takes Narrett spot. Yeah, I think it'd probably be something like, it'd end up being a situation where basically Presley and Narris are competing against each other for the remaining right-handed bullpen spot, probably.
Dana said he's going to platoon with Cam to let him get some rest.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew there was somebody else I was thinking. Yeah, Cam as well. Cam also hits left-handed pitching well. It makes sense to platoon those two. I think it'll be a little bit of both. It'll be Chaz getting some starts, Cam getting some starts, Jesus getting some starts, just depending on matchups and all that kind of stuff. But I do love it for Cam because he has now played the most games of his entire life in 1 year. So him being able to take breaks, and also like taking those breaks, he gets to watch and learn. He gets to watch more of the game with the coaching staff, with the veterans around him, and learn little things on his off days. I really love it. And then you get to the playoffs, and you have a
That just
more
keeps everyone fresh.
yeah, you have a more rested team overall. You have a stronger platoon option. Like imagine you get to playoffs, you're facing Tarek Skubal. Okay, we have Cam Smith in right field. We have a strong right-handed lineup. We're good. You're facing Garrett Crochet, or not Garrett Crochet. He's lefty, right? You're facing even a good right Joe. Oh, no, it's gonna be Joe Ryan. Trying to think of a right-handed pitcher on Jack Flaherty, whatever. But you're facing a good righty in the playoffs, and now you have other options to be able to counter that. Curious what we do with runners in scoring position post deadline. Yeah, I think I don't know what Correa's numbers are this year, but I feel like he's usually pretty good with runners in scoring position. And just in general, I feel like runners in scoring position gets affected by team vibe, I feel like, more than anything else, because when you're struggling, your team is getting a little desperate, you're pressing a little bit, I feel like you're more likely to swing out of your shoes or just not be fully locked in for a runner. You get a guy in second and you try to do too much. But I feel like this team now, they're going to be such a flow and comfortable. I feel like they're going to do really well. Yeah, good point. Brian Wu. You imagine you facing Brian Wu in a like ALDS. Now you have a left-handed bat that you could stick probably against a right-handed starter. Like Sanchez might hit third or fourth, and that just gives you such a strength at the top of the lineup or at the middle part of the lineup that you're not just, we have 3 righties in a row that struggle against righties and they're just about to all get carved up. Automatic outs.
It just gives you way more flexibility than you had before.
I like the Ramon Arias edition. Yeah, I do too. I think I was catching flack. I was fully defending that on Twitter that night. People were pissed. People were like, what? Like they were acting like that was it. Like that, like the deadline was over and all we got was Ramon. I'm like, you still have the deadline is tomorrow. Like that, everything usually happens on the deadline. Sup, DK.
Yeah, I feel like the fan base, like when every single time the trade deadline hits, it's just everybody's on the edge of their seat waiting for that big move,
Yep.
And then when it's like a small move like this one, it just gets people more riled up.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, we last week the giveaway prediction was the amount of trades. So some people said 3. Yeah, I think I see at least 3 people that said 3. So those are going to be going on the wheel, and that'll be, let me see. The giveaway was, what did we say? Oh yeah, the signed Yuli card. Yeah, so a signed Yuli Gurriel baseball card was how many trades? We had 3 people send in screenshots so far. So everybody else send in your screenshot if you guess correctly. Does Ramon essentially replace Dubon? No, definitely not. Dubon has had a better year. Ramon is basically, you just have two utility players, which isn't a bad thing in a team where you have some roster flexibility, and then you have some roster positions that are pigeonholed a little bit. especially losing Paredes. It'll be really nice to have the more flexibility, the better. Let's see. Oh, Noberto said he sent his. I'll check for that. Oh, yeah. Somebody asked about the hats. Brand new hats. I'm really excited about them. We like schedule. It's funny that we got them in right in time for the deadline because we designed them like 3 months ago and just in the process of getting them made. They're going to go on the site next week or something.
I gotta get my hands on one of those.
Yes, sir. Arias replaces Short. Yeah, essentially, Arias will replace Short on the roster. So, I mean, it's a big improvement. What does the bench look like now? When healthy, I tweeted out like a lineup. Let's see. When healthy, the lineup is essentially Pena, Altuve, Jordan, Correa, Walker, Sanchez, Diaz, Smith, Myers, Melton, like some sort of combination of that with depending on who you're facing. And then you have a bench of Arias, Dubon, Caratini, Melton, or Sanchez. Like that's a deep bench. That's a deep bench of very quality major league hitters. So I mean, one of the best benches they've had in the golden era. Because even 2019, I got to remember who was on that bench, but obviously the lineup was incredible. But the bench, I don't even know if it was as deep as this bench is now. I think all three play today. Who are we facing? Let me see who we're facing. Yeah, we're facing Criswell. So I don't know. I didn't hear anything about Sanchez's flight and everything, and whether he's going to be in time. But they said Correa is starting. I don't know if Arias would start against a righty. That'll be interesting. But I think if Sanchez is in town, he's definitely starting tonight against a righty. Correa is definitely starting. They said he would. They said he was going to be on a flight this morning. So, yeah. Moving forward with Paredes next year, how will he get plugged in with the infield? That's the interesting question. I think it's a good problem to have. We started talking about that at the beginning of the show today. Yeah, you could. There's a world where you trade him. There's a world where you trade Walker. There's a world where you trade Pena. To be honest, I mean, it's not a world that we like, and it's probably like 1%. But there's a world where you say, well, we got Correa. We're paying him. We're not going to be able to extend Pena. Maybe we look at is there like an elite starter to replace Framber that we can get for Jeremy Pena? That's I mean, I'm just putting it out there. It's not that I want that to happen, and I don't think it will happen, but
That's a thought for the future.
yeah, I do think it's something to be explored. Where you're like, well, Paredes is cheap, under control for 2 more years. He plays third base. You have Correa, played shortstop his whole life. Yeah, I mean, there's a world where it happens. I think it's more likely. If I had to put it on a pie chart, I'd say it's like 60% that they try and trade Walker. Actually, no, I'd say 50% that they try and trade Walker for something. 20% that they try and trade Paredes. Another 20% that they keep them all and just have the depth and maybe, like I said, do a rotating DH thing or Paredes like play some left field at Minute Maid Park sort of thing. I say 5% Pena gets traded and another 5%. What was the other option? I'd say 5% that Pena gets traded and another 5% that Correa gets traded. So I don't think many of that. I mean, for the most part, I think they're going to. If I had to guess, is they're going to stand pat and just have the depth.
Just keep everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you show where they move Altuve to the left, where they're willing to toy with it and figure it out. So I mean, and with all the injuries this year, I think I hope that they're going to say, well, it's better to have depth. I'd rather worry about having a fully healthy lineup and trying to figure out where everybody's playing
Right.
than trade one of them and then somebody gets hurt in the first week and then you're screwed. Let's see. Ryan, what did Ryan say? Do you think Trammell stays up with the team? I do think Trammell stays. I think Trammell is more likely to stay up with the team than probably Melton right now, because Melton has options and Trammell, I think, is the more polished bat that's can contribute right now. But we'll see.
Does Urias mean no more DeZenzo or Rogers?
Good point. DeZenzo's hurt, so I mean they're both hurt. But when DeZenzo comes back, I don't know. It's a good question. It might be a world where DeZenzo stays at AAA the rest of the year. He's also one of the few first base options, so there's a world where he is on your bench. It's a good problem to have that they have too many
bodies.
too many like pretty decent hitting bodies that's left. This means Bryce will go back down. Yes, I think
Probably.
so. I think so. I wish we could see video footage of Carlos reuniting with the clubhouse for the first time today. I know. I'm hoping the social team does a little bit of that, like kind of whenever he walks into the clubhouse for the first time. It'll be a visiting clubhouse in Fenway, so it's small. So I don't know how much room there is for that to be a kosher thing to do, but I think they should at least see what they could get in return, even if they don't trade any. Yeah, I think Dana's gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a headline that's like, Astros willing to listen on offers for Walker or Paredes or Pena this offseason, just to listen and see, what might be.
What the haul could look like.
Instagram comments, what's your dream lineup against right-handed pitching next year, assuming a healthy roster? I would say Pena leading off, Sanchez hitting second, Tuve hitting third, Jordan hitting fourth, Correa fifth, Walker sixth, Caratini seventh, catching. Something like that. I can't even think of how they bought. I'm not even thinking of positions and how that would work, but something like that for the top of your lineup. I want to like I said, Sanchez is so good against righties that essentially when he's facing a righty, he's an all-star. So like he deserves higher up in your order. So I don't know. Does 2026 compete with the offense from 2019? It might, especially if they even imagine they, traded some of the surplus, trade 2 or 3 of your surplus outfielders or bench bats for another really, really good hitter. I mean, it could be disgusting. Oh yeah, we don't have Caratini next year. Great point. I mean, I do think they might resign him, but yeah, you're right. It would probably be Diaz. I just was thinking against a righty having a lefty bat. Let's see. Do you think Carlos gave Rogers anything for his number back? I hope he did. People are joking about like, oh, he doesn't deserve anything, but like that's just common practice in the bigs when a player gives up a number, even if it was the other players, like even if the other player is a future Hall of Famer, like usually they give him something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arias, CC1, Jesus for Gusto, 11th round.
I mean, when the trade happened yesterday, I was like, is he going to keep 4 or is he going to go back to 1?
I figured pretty quickly that he's going to go back to 1, just because if it was like, say, Bryce Matthews had 1, or like Melton, or or even like Pena, or like somebody that like was part of the future, then it would be a little tricky. But it's Brendan Rodgers. Like we know what we're getting with that. I think they pick up Maldi or Presley. I don't think they pick up Maldi. That's not happening. Don't even start. They don't need to get another catcher. They already have 2 very good hitting catchers. And then Presley, I do think happens. I would put that at like 80% in my book. What do you think our biggest need in the off season is? Top line starting pitcher. I think that's the biggest need. You still have Pena, or not Pena, what the fuck? You still have Abreu, and you still have Hader. So you're pretty. You still have most of that bullpen. So you're pretty locked down in the bullpen. They're gonna do their thing and go pick up, John Smith, John Doe, the random 31-year-old journeyman reliever, and then turn him into a 2 ERA stud. Like I don't doubt for a second that the bullpen will be fine. But the biggest need next year is for sure a top line starting pitcher, because I don't think they're re-signing Framber. I think it's going to be something where they get like either trade for a starter with control out of their surplus, or they go do a Justin Verlander like deal. Not Justin Verlander, but a Justin Verlander like deal. An older 35-year-old like starter that's been really good. Give him like a 2-year, $40 million deal or something.
Yeah, when I saw that Maldi news drop yesterday, I was like, oh god, here we go again.
No, there's no way they would. I mean, maybe on a minor league contract just for the shits and gigs.
Someone
but
up there said bring Maldi in as a coach. Someone else said he's retiring this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if he retired. I wouldn't be surprised if he did retire like immediately, and then get some sort of consulting coaching position with the Astros just so he can be on the run. Be in that dugout,
be in the organization, and
just
work his way up from there.
Yeah, just be part of it, like some sort of consulting, coaching, catching coach type of.
I made a joke yesterday that we should bring him in to be a cheerleader just to talk shit to the other team.
Yeah, no,
because he does that pretty well.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, whether it's this year or next year, I could for sure see him retiring and just going right into some spot in the dugout with the coaches and mentoring players and noticing, because I think part of what Maldi's was so great at was the mentals. Obviously, like physically, like he had limitations, but mentally he could pick up on players, hitters ticks or something like a hole in their swing or whatever. Like he's really good at that. I think he's also really good at picking up on opposing pitchers tipping. I think he would be, some of the Astros would be like, please get in our dugout and you're going to immediately help us with catching tipping.
So on the catchers thing, how do you think they address that in the offseason with Yainer and Caratini?
I think, well, Caratini, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they re-sign Caratini. I think he loves it here. I don't think he'd be that expensive. I do think the price might go up a little bit from what they paid before, so maybe they let him go. I mean, I think Yainer's the guy, and whether it's Caratini or somebody else, they just pick up another backup catcher. But I do think, if I had to predict, it would be a catcher that can play multiple positions. I think when they get another backup catcher, I think right now you can tell that Dana in that front office, they value defense specifically, but also roster flexibility. So a guy that can play catcher and first base and outfield or something like that, I don't know if Dalton Varsho even still plays catcher, but like
versatility.
Yeah, you want to get a guy with versatility. Michael King would be good. Yeah, I could definitely see them signing Michael King to like a 2-year, $45 million deal or something. I don't think it would be any more than 3 years, and ideally it would be 1 year, because we talked about the lockout looming. So,
yeah. J. Rob said, "Just bring Maldi in for when we play the Rangers next."
Yeah, just to talk shit. Kelly is a way better pitcher than Cease or Alcantara. I disagree. I like Kelly. I don't super like Kelly. He was like the ace for the Team USA, and I just felt so embarrassed there in the WBC. Like, this is our ace. He's okay, but we have so many better pitchers in the US. So glad that Skeens is pitching next year. But yeah, I've always been kind of a hater of Kelly. Cease or Alcantara right now, yeah, Kelly is better, but Cease or Alcantara in the Astros pitching lab, give me them immediately. Buy low and fix Gallon the all season. I'm the same with Gallon as I am with Kelly. Like, I'm higher on Gallon, that's for sure, but just the raw stuff doesn't like jump off the page as.
I mean, our minor leaguer guys kind of teed off on him, didn't
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not that he could for sure be fixed, but it's not like the same as Cesar Alcantara where they have nasty raw stuff, but just something's clearly missing in the pitch selection or arm angle or something's wrong that needs to be tweaked.
Speaking of C's, the Padres went kind of bananas this trade deadline.
They did. They did a lot. They really went kind of Mariners. They kind of did a Dipoto type of thing where they made a lot of moves. They they traded the number 3 prospect overall in baseball for Mason Miller. Let's read this out. Urias, Correa, and Jesus for Gusto, an 11th round JUCO. Valencia, who was a 90K, 900K international pick. Twine is a 19th round pick. And Maliski signed in May after failing with San Francisco. And Jaws, only good prospect gone. Unreal. Nobody like Clifford lost. Yeah. I mean, Dana cooked by far. I mean, the biggest guy you gave up was Gusto. And like, I like him, but he's not like, I don't expect him to go out and win a Cy Young or anything. Depletion of the San Diego farm. Yeah, San Diego went all out. Oh shit! Yeah, look at that. Your cousin,
My doppelganger.
yeah, Dez is here. Your cousin with
How we feeling, chat?
Yeah, he said how we feel in chat.
Did he just wake up from his nap again? Is that what's going on?
Probably just slacking out there in Chi-Town, just napping away. Tendo says, "I'm sorry, I wronged you, Dez." I don't even know what Tendo did to you, but you don't have to apologize.
Apology accepted.
Nah, don't have to apologize, Dez. Let it fly. Who are the top 3 teams we're concerned with have postseason potential? I'm not concerned with any NL teams. I mean, obviously, some NL teams make good moves, but my philosophy is, if you're worried about an NL team, you made the World Series, so like, worry about that when you get there.
It's a good thing to worry about.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. The Rangers are sneaky nasty. I mean, they've always had a pretty good roster. They've underperformed, and then now they improved that roster.
How do we feel about the Mariners after
the Mariners improved as well? I mean, both the Mariners and Rangers got better. You can't deny that both teams improved, and they were already kind of nipping at the Astros' heels. So,
do you see like a potential 3 teams from the AL West in the playoffs?
I do, yeah. It's going to be tough. The Tigers are the team from the Central. I mean, that's pretty common every year. One team from the AL Central looks good, and the rest fall off. This year, it's going to come down to from the AL East and the AL West, you have 3 teams competing for the top spot. So one of those 6 teams isn't going to make it. It's going to come down to that, and you hope the Astros just run away with the division, claim a first or second seed, and don't look back. But the Mariners and Rangers are playing for something real. I mean, they're not going to be giving up all the way until the end of September. It's not like one of them could fall out of contention. Like, they're both teams are going to be competing at least for the wild card the entire way, competing with the Yankees, Blue Jays, and Red Sox, because that division I think is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah,
the Red Sox look really good. I think if I had to guess, if I had to predict, I think the Blue Jays fall off and miss the playoffs.
hot take.
it's a hot take. I mean, I think they're overperforming. I think it comes down to them and maybe the Rangers or Seattle for the final wild card spot. I think Boston has a really good roster. They underperformed for a while, and then they've been the hottest team in baseball over the past month or so. I mean, them and the Blue Jays are both going off, but I just don't trust the Blue Jays roster. They just don't have the pitching, in my opinion. They don't really have the
How do you feel about the
bullpen.
Shane Bieber move, though?
I like that move for them. I
You just
say
don't think it's enough?
I say maybe that's the catalyst. If Shane Bieber comes back and is a Cy Young Shane Bieber, then yeah, I think they'll be okay. But if he's not, I don't think they made enough moves and don't have the roster to. I could be totally wrong. I just think out of the 5 teams not that aren't the Astros that could, one of the 5 is going to miss the playoffs. If I had to put money on it, it'd be Blue Jays or Red Sox. But my sneaky favorite team from the deadline, not my favorite team at all. I'm never going to put that word out there, but team that did the best that I hate that I have to give flowers to, the Yankees.
Yeah, they had an underrated deadline.
Their deadline was nasty. They got 3 bullpen arms. They got 2 outfield bats that they needed. You know, if Judge's injury isn't, longer than a few weeks, that team looks nasty. That team looks like, like I said though, the AL East is they're gonna beat each other up. That's what you hope for. I think. I guess going back to Turtle's question, what are the top 3 teams you concerned about? I guess it would have to be the Mariners or Rangers, because if you face a division rival in the playoffs, it's going to be tough. Even look at 2022. It was a sweep, but it wasn't looking like a sweep.
It wasn't an easy sweep, though.
It was not an easy sweep. I mean, they won every game. It was similar to the White Sox sweep of the Astros in 05.
I mean,
like, it's a sweep on
game
paper.
1, if we don't
if Jordan doesn't go God mode,
in game 1.
Yeah, that series looks totally different. Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you look at facing the Rangers. I think the Astros had a better roster than the Rangers in 23, or they should have beat them. A division rival, like almost all. Look at Yankees versus Guardians. Every time they meet up in the CS,
that always goes the distance too.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to face a division rival in a playoff series. I feel like it always is tough. So those 2 for sure, and then the third would be the Tigers, because at this point, the Tigers are going to be able to cakewalk into the postseason, have a 1 seed or 2 seed, and be fully prepared and ready to go. And they're not going to be like the AL East. AL East 2 is going to be beating up on each other. Let's see, another comment here. Feels like Sanchez bomb at plus 680 tonight. Ooh. I have to see. I have to make sure he's in the roster.
Is he starting today?
If he flew in last night or this morning, I think he's starting. I just don't know. You never know I don't know where the Miami was and what he was doing yesterday, and like how quickly he could get on a flight. You never know. Sometimes if they can't get in early enough, the team will just give them an extra day to get settled in,
situated.
Especially somebody who's new to an entire clubhouse. With Correa, it's a little different because it's a lot easier for him to plug in and go out and play. But for somebody like Sanchez, he's entirely new to this team and clubhouse and coaching staff and everything. So they might give him a day to get settled in, his feet wet.
Maybe you see him in the next series.
Well, for sure,
or the next day.
Yeah, for sure, he would play tomorrow if we're facing a righty tomorrow. Facing Buehler tomorrow. So yeah, Sanchez will play either today or tomorrow. Is Correa playing today? I think they said Correa is playing today. So if somebody said it, or even if they didn't, I think that's pretty locked. Yankees will blow up this August. I want to believe that. I do. Marlins actually in New York right now. Oh, so maybe maybe that wasn't far ride for Sanchez at all. Did you get my DM on Twitter? Yeah, Nombrito, I think I put you on there. Yeah, I did. I got you. I read that wrong. My bad. Well, it's more about where the Marlins were yesterday, or I guess Wednesday. The Marlins were in St. Louis, and then they were going home. So it depends on whether he had already flown home for the homestand. He probably had. So, sometimes you can't. So, you got to think of these players as humans. Like, he's at home on an off day. Maybe he has stuff going on. I don't know. Like, you never know, like, how quickly a player can just
turn around and
pack up and get the fuck out of there. Like, he was on an off
packing
day.
takes time, guys.
Yeah, I mean, just you never know. Sometimes they give him an extra day. Week of September 15th to 21 is going to decide the AL West. 3 against the Rangers and then 3 against the Mariners back to back at Daikin. That's going to be electric. That's going to be so we got to all be there for that. That's going to be so electric. You may have covered this already, but would you agree this increases our likelihood of viewing Pena like Tucker and trading him after this season? We did. We did discuss this. I thought more people would be offended by me bringing it up, but there's a world where you say we can get a lot of value for Jeremy Pena right now with, I think, 3 years. No, its first year was 22, 2, 3, 4. So he's in his 4th year. So he has 2 years left of control after this year. So you look at it like he's only 28, I think, next year. 2 years of control, all-star, shortstop. That's a big position. Can lead a team, Gold Glover. I think there's a world where you're like, well, we have Carlos Correa now. We're already paying him. We're not going to pay Jeremy Pena. Maybe, in that situation, you say, well, if we can get, maybe that's when you go get Sandy Alcantara and somebody else and some prospects from Miami, or you go get a Kyle Stowers. I don't know.
A small little beep 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 boop boop boop.
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman released from the Yankees roster.
Whoa. That's kind of wild.
To make room for the other guys that they got yesterday.
Yeah. We're still waiting on the Astros corresponding moves today, because they still have to activate the guys they traded for. Let me look at Marcus. I mean, he hasn't been good, but yeah, God, he's been awful. 6.23 ERA, 1.53 WHIP. Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, the name would fit, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would go get Marcus Stroman. I don't think that's even in the realm of maybe
anything they're thinking about.
Unless, I mean, that's my thing. I say it all the time. I wouldn't go get there's pitchers that I would never think the Astros should go get them. But if they went and got them, then I would say, oh, they see something. They have some idea of something they can fix. Ground ball rate is still very good. Off-speed run value is still very good. I mean, there's a world where they see something that they can fix. I don't see anything. Expected batting average against his split finger is nasty. He should probably throw that more often. He throws it 10% of the time, and it's his best pitch. So his slurve, similar, is a 208 batting average. He throws it 20% of the time, but he throws his sinker 36% of the time, and it gets crushed. So there's a world where the Astros are like, okay, similar. I mean, we didn't get a pitcher at the deadline. Let's go pick up Stroman
and see what we can do with him.
Have him throw his slurve and his split finger more often, and throw his sinker less, but also a different way or different locations, and maximize potential value. I mean, they like ground ball pitchers. They specifically have a nasty infield defense. So, and the Yankees have a bad-ish infield defense. So there's a world where you get Stroman and he's better, at least on par with Gusto, who you just traded. So You trade Gusto away. Gusto's the worst arm you trade. Your worst player you traded away, or the biggest hit that you traded away at the deadline. You replace him the next day with Marcus Stroman. Like, there's a world where that makes sense. To my point, we do not have success with Boris clients, so acknowledge that and try and get ahead of it. I wouldn't say we don't have success with Boris clients. I mean, Altuve is a Boris client. Not your Don, but there's another guy that's a Boris client that we signed. So I wouldn't say that we just don't have success. I just think Boris's ideals for what he's looking for his players rarely line up for what the Astros try to do, which is Boris looks for longevity for most of his players. The Astros are looking for shorter contracts with more impact. But yeah, like I said, Altuve is a Boris client. So sometimes if the player wants to be here,
they'll make it work.
And they're at some level, like they can figure it out.
I feel like Altuve is like a diamond in the rough in that sense, because
he's definitely the exception.
Yeah, most of them don't.
Yeah. You're on for Nick Kurtz in the winter. Fuck it.
I don't think so.
Rogers is a Boris client and Hunter Brown. Yeah, but there was we didn't Rogers doesn't really count, and Hunter Brown hasn't signed anything, so it doesn't really count. I'm trying to think of another hitter that's a Boris client. That might not be on the team now, but that we signed. Whatever. Whoa, we're already done. It's been an hour. There's just been so much to talk about. It's already an hour? Jesus.
We didn't even get to C's, did we?
No. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, C's. Oh, man. Yesterday was a wild ride, so I'm going to take you guys back to yesterday. I was on I-10 on the way here, and the Correa news drops. I'm like, oh, man, I got to get to the studio as soon as possible, you know? And then I get here, and we're waiting for the C's stuff to drop. Obviously never dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like as an Astros fan, and even just like a sports fan in general, this trade deadline was just so exciting, more than past ones, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. I'm trying to look more up about Stroman here. His slur is nasty. Let's see. It's 1:00. That's crazy. Where's Stone? He's back in Dallas, back home. Bring Stone back. Stone lover up in here.
Yeah. Chad Stone.
Damn, no Correa jerseys online. I think they're going in the team store today. Breaking news. Nope. Let's see. Wow, he really wants to trade Jordan for Nick Kurtz. I don't think they do that. Dumb front office to keep letting your stars walk and then trade for them again. Just pay them what they're worth. I don't know.
Technically, we paid them less than when we were going to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Tony, it's just continuously worked out for the Astros. They keep getting good players back for cheap because they hold out, and so far it's worked. Yeah, I think Correa's playing today. Lance McCullers' disaster contract was a Boris masterpiece. That's valid, but I still pay Lance that contract. Everybody hates Lance, but he earned that money, and he literally, the only reason he's been hurt is because he laid his arm on the line for your team. You know.
Do you think when Lance comes back, they move him to the pen?
I think so. I think it's time. Got to break out my Correa performance tee.
Oh yeah.
I saw the picture of Correa in our tank top. Somebody commented and has the tank top signed by Correa.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to know the story. How did you get it from him, and what can we trade you for that immediately? We need
to hang that up in the
studio.
We
absolutely, that needs to be shadow boxed in the studio. That's a huge piece of Apollo history. I want to get that. I want to get that so bad. We have so many signed, great like pieces of memorabilia and this thing. I'll trade something for that tank top. I really need that. I DM'd him, but the guy he hasn't responded yet. Okay. What up, Apollo Daz? Panda? That's Apollo Daz. That's according to somebody else. No, this is Apollo Kush.
Apollo, I guess I'm Apollo Daz now.
Apollo Daz. The better facial hair. All right, I'm gonna get the stuff ready for the wheel. I think we have 4 names on it. Giving away a signed Yuli card. I need to also go get that Yuli card. So vamp for a little bit for me. Talk to chat. Tell more stories.
What does your batting order look like today? Hitting on McCullers will always be the wackest things fans do. I mean, on the Lance McCullers thing, he obviously he means a lot to the city, to the franchise, to the organization. Watching him struggle this year it sucked. I think we all hope that he would bounce back in a big way after all the injuries and stuff. But I think if they bring him back, put him back, put him in the pen, and he thrives in the pen, I think not necessarily we're gonna forget about all the struggles, but I think it'll mend the relationship between the fans and him a little bit. I'd like to apologize to Jim Crane for questioning his willingness to go over the CBT tax like a month ago. Yeah.
They didn't actually go over. You want to talk about that? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
They didn't go over luxury tax. They're actually like 200K short. They
Well, there you go.
they barely stayed under.
There you go. Yeah, since we didn't really get into the C's thing, I'll kind of talk about the C's thing a little bit. Yeah, I know he struggled this year for sure, but I feel like if they would have made the move for Cease, obviously, we're not big fans of what we would have had to give up, but let's just play pretend and say that we acquired him yesterday. I think if you go in, to the playoffs with a rotation of Framber, Hunter Brown, and Dylan Cease, I think that's one of the better ones probably in the field of playoff teams if they could get Dylan Cease back to prime form that he was last year and in years past. But yeah, the Dylan Cease thing was a wild ride. It was literally to like the last second of the trade deadline, and then 15 minutes post, we were kind of waiting for it to drop, but it never dropped. But yeah, I like the Astros not giving the farm or major leagues like Spencer for a rental and Cease. Yeah, when it came out about what the Padres were asking for, I was kind of like, it's probably a good thing that it didn't happen because I would never want to give up all of that for a rental, and you don't know what Dylan Cease you're getting. You might get the version of where he's really, really good, he's really improved from this year, or you might get the one where that he struggled and
it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, it's not
a guarantee you fix him.
that good.
I'm pulling up to Fenway in a couple hours. Any fans going to be there tonight? I think there are a couple people in chat had said they were going tonight, asking if anybody would be there. I don't know. Let's do a giveaway. We are. See if this still, pops out perfectly in the middle. Look at that. We are giving away. This is from last week. We had chat guess how many trades the Astros would make, and we had so far 4 people that said 3. Nailed it right on the money. We're giving away a Yuli signed Yuli card. One of my favorite cards. We're going to give it away. And then we will talk about next week's giveaway right after this. Let's see who wins. We have Norberto. We have Abbas, Sal, Norberto, and Mike. Let's do it. Look at that. Mike wins. Shout out, Mike. I don't know if you sent the thing, but I don't know if you're in there right now. But yeah, shout out Mike for the W. DM us your address. I don't know if you've won before, but DM us your address and you get the signed Yuli card. Michael Richards. So this week, what should we do for the giveaway? Should we do Correa? Should we do like an over-under Correa home runs?
Yeah, we can do Correa home runs, or do we want to do Correa extra base hits over on?
That could be fun. Keep it at extra base hits. So from now until, let me get my phone back. Are they off Monday? No, so they go from Boston to Miami. Jesus Sanchez homecoming immediately. They are off Thursday. So 6 games, 3 in Boston and 3 in Miami. What should we set the line at? I don't know if Des, if you're watching, you're better at setting lines. Let's see. I'm going to ask Des to set the line for us. He's usually better at that. What do you? How many think you think he gets?
Are we doing home runs or extra base?
Extra base hits.
I'm gonna go 5.
5.
5.
Okay. I'm asking Des. Hopefully
he's not napping again.
Hopefully he's not napping. He's going to help us set this line. Correa is at Fenway per McTaggart. Yeah, he was supposed to be flying this morning. Dominique with the shout out Kush.
What up, Dom?
Nice.
How's it going?
Yeah. So 3 in Fenway. He can hit rockets off of that, off the monster. I think he hits 7.
I think that's fair.
I don't know. I feel like maybe that's too bullish.
With every time we pick stuff like this, I always undershoot because I always overshoot.
Yeah, you try and correct, and then you get it wrong. Okay. Des has the line. Des is setting the line at 4.5.
I'm gonna go over because I said 5. So
yeah. All right, chat. We are going to give away. This is our last one to give away because we gave away too many of these yesterday. We ended up giving away literally all the ones we had on hand except for like this one. But it's Friday. We're about to drop these. I really want to give one away. Giving away a brand new hat. Oh, we're in we are in a manual focus, not autofocus, so I have to keep it back here. A-Sean versus everyone on the side. A little Apollo A on the back. H. New hats coming out next week, but you can win one if you guess over under 4.5 extra base hits for Carlos Correa in the next 6 days. 3 with Boston and 3 with Miami. 4.5 is a pretty solid line. Because I mean, he could get a lot of hits. He could, he could go like, say he gets four at bats a game, 6 days, 6 games, 24. He could go like 10 for 24, but have 7 singles.
Could happen.
Yeah, line is 4.5 extra base hits for Carlos Correa. Make sure you screenshot your guess. And then if you were right next week, you just send in your screenshot, and then we'll add you to the wheel, and we'll spin it. And the winner will win A-Sean versus everyone hat. Will Sanchez play today? I think so. If he's already there, they said Correa is already in Fenway. So if he's already there, then he's hitting. But he might. You never know. It might take him more time to get there, and they might just give him an extra day rest. What are we saying? Not according to the MLB app. Are they already do the lineup for today? There's no way.
When's the game? Like 6?
Yeah, game's at 6. So you don't usually do the lineup for a bit. No, that's Roger. That's just the matchups alphabetical order. That's not the lineup. Yeah, no, the lineup hasn't been released yet. Usually that's around 2 or 3, probably 2. Should come out soon. I'll let you know if it happens while we're still streaming. But usually Brian or Chandler will tweet it out. Yeah, Roger, matchups is just the matchups. That's just default. You can look at the matchups for like 3 games from now. That's not the lineup. That's just alphabetical order of what do you think our record will be in the last 50 games or so? That's a good question. The Astros currently are 62-47. Math. We're going to do some math. 109. So they have exactly 53 games left. Let's predict that. Let's get that little clip predicting that. 53 games left in the Astros season. I think they go. I think they go 30-23. That sounds conservative, but that's more than enough. 30-23 puts you at 92 wins.
I go 33-20.
33-20?
33-20.
33-20 puts you at 95 wins. So
I just think the Correa thing is just it's going to propel them.
Yeah, I mean, I say 30-23, and that sounds like if I said that 4 days ago, though, everybody would be like, "There's no way this team is."
You're delusional.
They just got swept by the A's. Like, there's no possible way they're gonna be even over 500 for the rest of the way.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you look back at the run that we've been on the last however many years.
Yeah.
Every single year, we always get swept by a team that we're just like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, they were swept by the Reds. like 2 years ago or something. They were swept by the A's in 2017 and 2022.
Yeah.
And those, I mean, yeah. Over under Correa screams at Framber and then he kills it. 40 and 13, 39 and 14. I mean, Jesus, y'all.
I mean, I like
Y'all
the
are.
dream too.
I like the dream. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. The chat is really bullish. I would be so happy with 30 and 23. 92 wins, I think, wins you the division. Maybe it's close. Maybe another team has like 90 wins, but I think 30 wins is the goal. Anything above that is you're good. Swept. Their Astros were swept by the A's every time they won the World Series. 33 and 20 predicted 92 wins at the beginning of the season, but you think an extra juice gets to 95 total. I agree. On the Mariners South Oklahoma game, can they both lose? I mean,
Nice.
yesterday was good. A good example of kind of beating each other up a little bit. Mariners beat the shit out of the Rangers. So tonight, you hope the Rangers beat the shit out of the Mariners, and then tomorrow, the next day, they flip back and forth. They split the series. They use a lot of pitching.
Them beating each other up is probably the best thing for us.
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely. Do we think we see Carlos tonight? I think so. I think for sure. Oh no, Chandler Rome's about to be on foul territory. Nice. I thought he was tweeting the lineup, but it was just the foul territory like lineup card thing.
That's not the lineup that we wanted.
No. Pull up the schedule. Oh, you want to like talk through the schedule? Let's do that. We're going a little long today, but it's a big day after. We went 6 hours yesterday or 7 hours yesterday, so an extra 30 minutes doesn't bother me. Let's pull up the schedule. So August is tough a little bit. You have 3 with Boston, 3 with Miami, and then 3 with the Yankees, and then 3 more with Boston. And then you have Boston sandwiching Miami and New York. And then you have Baltimore, 3 with Baltimore, 3 with Detroit, and then 4 more with Baltimore. So, I mean, Baltimore has been bad, but they're still like, that's still a pretty good team. Like, I don't think you can just cakewalk that. And then after all that, finally you get to Rockies, Angels, and then you have 3 with the Yankees, 3 with the Rangers, 3 with the Blue Jays. And then you have the Braves, Rangers, Mariners, Athletics, and Angels to end it out. So it's ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of tough games with tough teams, but then you have some easy, quote unquote, series in between there. I think I'm standing strong at 30 and 23 in that stretch.
Yeah, I'm putting my stamp on 33 and 20.
The Astros play good teams well. They always have. I mean, no matter what you do, the main focus is beating the Rangers and the Mariners. If you win all those series, I think it's pretty hard for you to lose the division lead. But we'll see.
As long as they stay atop the division, then
yeah. Sitting right now after the deadline, they have a 4.5 game lead on the Mariners and a 5.5 game lead on the Rangers. So, like I said, you hope the Rangers win tonight, so they kind of swap there, and then you hope Mariners win the next day. But it really, you just take care of your own business, win your series, and take it from there.
Should be fine.
Thing is, the Astros seem to struggle versus the bad. I think he means the bad teams. Yeah, that's the thing. Take care of hold your own in the tough series, and then take care of the bad teams. And I mean, there's a world where they do go like 35 and
Could happen.
35 and 18 or something like that, and win close to 100 games like that. That'd be crazy, but they go on a run
for that.
But yeah, I mean, good long show today. Thank you for everybody for hanging out and tuning in with us. We stand around 75, 100 people hanging out. Thank you to everybody who was with us yesterday. Oh, hey, Michael. I don't know if you won the the spin. I think that's Michael Richards. You sent in the thing yesterday, but then I don't know if you're on here today. Anyways, yeah, thank you everybody who hung out yesterday. We had our first like super chat giveaway thing. That was pretty fun. That was nice. I think we might do something like that again. I think we definitely are going to try and do. Let's see. Next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday is a day game, 3:40. I think we're definitely going to try and do a watch party for that. Hang out. It'll be the last game before they come back home for Correa's homecoming. So we'll probably do a thing for that. More realistic answer if we stay healthy is 36-17. I mean, I don't know. That's I hope that's realistic. I don't think so. I think
Quite the dream. Right
anything north of 30, I think wins you the division. 36-17 gets you the 1 seed, I think, for sure. I mean, that's 98 wins. I don't think any team in baseball is winning 100. The Tigers might have a chance because they're in such a weak division at this point because the Guardians both sold and are having players go down left and right for gambling stuff. And then the Royals are kind of bought, kind of sold. They're kind of gearing up for next year. Who else is in the Central that I'm forgetting? Obviously, the White Sox suck. Just a team I'm forgetting. Tigers, White Sox, Royals, Guardians. Is that it? Am I losing my mind? Yeah. No.
I think there's.
I'm just brain farting. Twins. That's duh. The Twins sold off everybody. Right? I don't think they know who's even playing shortstop for them today. Or like I don't think they know who's hitting 8th or 9th in their lineup tonight. So I think Correa's in the lineup tonight. If I had to put money on it, I would say he's in the lineup. I think they immediately want him to come in and make an impact. Jesus Sanchez might not be. Arias might be since his trade happened a day earlier. But yeah, shout out everybody. Once again, give Dana Brown his props.
Round of applause there.
A round of applause for Dana Brown. Carlos Correa is an Astro. Thank you for everybody hanging out. Like and subscribe. Thank you to our sponsors, Big City Wings and Zing Zang. Big City Wings. I probably am actually going to go to Big City Wings for lunch today. I'm kind of starving right now. Zing Zang, using me Zang responsibly. America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. But yeah, thank you for everybody hanging out with us today. A good long stream. Let's talk ball. Let's talk about Correa. Do some giveaways.
Took this weekend off with a Correa homer tonight.
Yeah, and also I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus Stroman and Ryan Presley are both Astros tomorrow or 2 days from now. We'll see. I mean, maybe. More so with Presley. Stroman, I'm like, okay, maybe. But yeah, thank you for watching and hanging out and talking with us. We will see you next time.
Astros.